Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Creative Educator Collective. I'm Kanesha from boldlivingtoday.com.
And I'm Kari from KnustonSpeaks.com.
Here we are. Welcome or welcome back. It's part 3 of our wrapping up 2018 in preparation for a robust, stellar, exciting 2019. And today, Kari, we're going to talk about resolutions or moving away from them. Resolutions, is it your thing?
No. And while I'm not against people who have resolutions, I have to say I have never kept a resolution past probably the 3rd week of January. And I have tried different ways to do it. But for me, they just don't work because it's like a should do and have to do. And it's too big. Like I should change everything. And that's why we call what we're doing the S.H.I.F.T Framework. Because to me, making a little shift or a pivot, resolutions don't work for me. Some people they might, but I think not for me. And so I'd say a big no to that.
Okay. I feel the same way. I have tried resolutions for many years, and I finally realized that they're too bossy for me. And when I say that, I feel like I'm too constricted and I have to be in this really rigid structure. And for my creativity, my flow of ideas and things like that, and the way I respond to things happening in my life, resolutions just aren't my jam. And again, if you love resolutions, that's fantastic. But what we want to talk to you about today in wrapping up this calendar year and prepping for the next is to move beyond the resolutions, or if you have a real good system for resolutions, then expanding it even further, having better declarations to connect with your goal mapping, and then how to piece that all together on your own terms. So we're gonna just push a little pause on the resolutions and talk about this different structure. Kari, at your desk right now, what are some creativity tools that you just have? Can we just see what you just have right in front of you? Show and tell.
And better at them too, just like with your help. So this is one of my favorite things, which is ridiculous, but it's so great. I love to put these in my calendar and use them for like gigs that I know are happening, gigs that might be happening, gigs that I gotta think about. Oh, that's where we're friends.
I love these.
Look at this, they're so great. And then I got the tiny ones too. Look at that. This is what I use when I have a gig versus when I'm doing coaching, and I kind of have different color systems depending on it. It's a real visual, easy way for me to see. Kanesha has gotten me to buy my first rolls of washi tape, which I'm so excited to like bolden things up and make them excited. I also like to make my calendar. I like stickers and stuff on there. I like some things that inspire me. I'm from Colorado. This is my JDY sticker about just do you. And then my daughters gave me this K, and another daughter gave me said I'm number 1, and another one because I like frogs. So this is for fun. And then I got my new Sharpie pack just as a present early. I was gonna wait till Christmas. I'm like, why? Whoa, see, great minds think alike. So those are just some of the things that I like to use.
So the reason I asked Kari to do a show and tell of the material she has, when you're going through this process, just as we mentioned in the first video, use whatever you have on hand. You don't have to go get all kinds of things. You know, I just been pushy with Kari because I want her to join the washi tape extravaganza. And so, you know, use what you have, but you're going to be using your journal, a piece of paper, whatever works best for you. Sticky notes are so great because it gives you a little bit more flexibility, but you're really going to be mapping out what you want to do for 2019. And we'll start by identifying 4 major topics, 4 major categories for 2019. Like when I think about what I want to do for 2019, I would say the 4 major categories for me would be it's business, but specific to business is scalability. I'm working on something really amazing right now with a business coach. The second thing would be family, you know, still working family. So I'm not so much in the parenting stage like I was in 2018, transitions, but now I can just focus on parenting because, you know, we're not having a major transition going into this calendar year, I don't think. So family. Yeah. And the third thing is I want to continue to have wellness front and center. And these aren't in any ranked order or anything. Wellness front and center. And then the 4th thing would be definitely marriage. So those are the 4 things I think I'm going to start the calendar year with. Hopefully it will go all the way through, but maybe after Q1, something is already taken care of and I can shift things around. You don't have to be tied to your 4 categories for the entire calendar year because, you know, you might rock star that out and be able to move on or get the right help and support and be able to check that off and then add another category. What do you think your categories for 2019 are as of today?
As of today, and I like what you said about changing, because sometimes I think we get so strict with ourselves about what we said we would do, and sometimes things don't serve us anymore, or we're actually done with that goal. or we haven't done it because it just can't get done or won't get done in the way, but we think we should do it. So I'm
Right.
thinking about that these are flexible. And I also like not having 20. I like having 4 because to me, at least that's reasonable. So mine is definitely focusing on my office and getting my organization done. So under the big heading of organization is not just making my office pretty. It's like, how can it function? And also, how can our house function? I've been doing lots of things with organizing how the mail works, how we do clothes and laundry, and just to make my life easier. So organization is a huge bucket, and under that is my office is a huge getting that done. So I have some space for my stuff. Another category for me is how I am incorporating my business and changing my name and building that out in terms of doing the show, doing some consulting, doing my presentation. So what does that look like? And working with a business coach as well on focusing my message and my branding and learning more about. So a big topic, the third topic for me after business development is learning and education. Like I pride myself on being a lifelong learner, but I was like, I need to be more conscious about taking classes, signing up for things, learning new I don't know, programs and things like that. So that's on my list. And then my fourth one is a little open because it has to do with wellness, but it also is self-care wellness. Like, and I'm trying to decide what the category looks like. I don't want to just say keep working out. I want to embolden that with a little more, but I don't know exactly what I want to say yet. So that's I want to make it more robust.
Yeah.
And I haven't thought about it yet.
And it's okay to have this first iteration or this first draft of this goal mapping, because, if we're really doing the work and we're really shifting and pivoting, we should be tweaking as we go. And this is why having the visual, using the sticky notes and different tools, you can move things around as they come. Maybe something you were going to focus on in quarter 1 is really a quarter 3 type thing. And you just move the little sticky note around and continue your goal mapping. So once you have your 4 categories, then you need to focus within that focus. And I have 5 specific tasks or things that you should look for and create and leave space for when you have your 4 areas. And they're the same for each 4 because remember, you're setting the tone for the calendar year. You are putting yourself on the proper notice for what you want to do. And you're really, as we said, going for your bold focus, building yourself up, owning your unique qualities, leveraging your skills, and then developing them so that you can be detailed about your desires. So that's bold. So here we go. Once you have your 4 categories, you want to focus the action items within each category on things that build you up, support habits that help you believe in yourself, support habits. 3, systems that keep things simple, and procrastination low. And I think simplicity is a key. So let me read that one again. The third focus would be systems to keep things simple, so your procrastination is low. The fourth one is activities that stretch your imagination and fuel your creativity. And 5 is space to allow yourself to rest and experience daily pleasure. So Kari and I like to look at these as kind of like guideposts for goal mapping. We've talked about this individually when we were putting together the S.H.I.F.T Framework. And we talked about our roles within that and then how we wanted to use our own unique expertise and then grow this into like a beautiful collaborative. And it's just been really fun to learn to work with each other on that different scale. So our goal mapping is really this beautiful, this is how I would describe it, but I want to hear from you. I think our goal mapping is like this beautiful labyrinth of, moving to our live event, but then we each have these individual paths, but we're still moving in the same direction. And we really look at each other's skills and strengths and actual interests. Like, sometimes I'll take something on just because I think it's so fun or I want to learn about it. And we just give each other that space, but we're still moving in the same way with our timing and our mapping. What would you say about that?
Yeah, I think it's important when you think about your next steps and your skill sets, like what you're interested in, where you could push yourself, a good way, what you really don't want to do that you think you should. And also when you're partnering, I think anybody needs a thought partner, accountability partner, someone to help you bounce things off of. And that's been the great part about the Creative Educator Collective between the 2 of us, but also what we're trying to create is a community of educators who can talk about these things, because there's a specific, I think, mindset of people who work in education. There's different kinds of stressors that you're under, different things that you deal with, that as you're thinking about quarterly planning, sometimes we just focus on getting through it, or it's all about school and nothing about us. And I think to grow as educators, we have to have that piece for ourselves that allows us to grow and keep being engaged in the process. Whether you're doing a side gig, if teaching your full gig, whether you want to start something, you need to create some space for that to happen, and having a good partnership with someone who can like when Kanesha and I got this together, we're like, it's so good to talk to each other, and like, could we offer this opportunity to other people? And creating a collective is what we're about. So we hope that's part of what I think this information is great, because you can join a community of people talking the talk, walking the talk, and trying.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is why this type of goal mapping system becomes this open living document or open creative space for growing those things, even while you're doing other things. I mean, Kari and I are running full-on business separate. You know, we have our families, we have our social lives and whatever, but then we have this project together, and this way that we're talking about doing goal mapping is really what keeps us sustained in what we're doing in the Creative Educator Collective, but individually in our own businesses and then in our personal lives. So, you know, we'll have all the details about this from, you know, in addition to this video within the newsletter, and that'll be coming out. And so sign up and get the information. But it'll be a really fun way for you to restructure how you think about the new year coming in. And it'll be a different way for you to trust yourself in stretching a little further in one particular category, or going deeper in a particular category, or just completely blowing the lid off something, and, you know, dabbling a little bit in identity risk, and, you know, maybe taking a leap of faith in another category. But you will have a visual that helps you see the spaces you have and what you need to do to get the support, to keep things simple, to keep procrastination low, to believe you can actually do it.
Yes. And the only thing I want to add to that is to being conscious of it. Like in the 4 categories, it's easy to say, I want to do all these things. But if you have 4 categories and you've made something visual and you see that every day as you pass by your office, I think it's so good to keep it front of mind, so that instead of hoping things happen, you're consciously making them happen. And I think that's one of the best things about your system, Kanesha, that I love, is that it's visual, it's colorful, but it makes the unconscious conscious, and it makes us think about things and taking actions in ways that feel good, instead of, oh, I wish I would, or I hope I did, or I forgot I even wanted to do that. It puts it in a visual place that holds the space for it, which I think is great.
Awesome. Thank you, Kari. So we will be wrapping up our 4-part series, and we'll have the fun wrap up to this coming up in the video. So, you know, check back at creativeeducatorcollective.com. Check us out on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, Creative Educator Collective, and you can find all the information on our website in addition to these videos. And we would love to hear how this process is working for you, different ways you've tweaked it to make it customizable. And as we've mentioned, all of this will be sent to our subscribers for our newsletter, just so you can get the actual printable and just have a little bit more to work with if the video is not fully giving you the full picture. So thank you guys. Happy holidays. And we can't wait to bring you part 4 of the series.
Thanks,
Kari.
Bye, Kanesha.